true. Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Welcome back to the Booga live stream. It's Wednesday night, so it's small project night. Hope y'all are having a good week up till now. Tonight I'm going to be working on staggered Byzantine halves. Yeah, staggered Byzantine halves. I've actually had this picture for a long time, and just had never gotten to it, and I was looking through my pictures today on new weaves that I hadn't done yet, so I was like, well, let's give that one a shot. So I actually did spend about an hour and a half on it earlier. It took me a while to find out the name, because I saved the pictures a lot and come back to them, and don't have names with them, so I've got to find the names out sometimes, what weave it is. I did find it finally, and found the name. I think it said ideal AR was 3.3, I believe, 3.6, somewhere right in there. So actually I had some of my gold square rings out, and I ended up grabbing those, and I ended up getting a little bit of it done today, just to make sure it was going to work and everything, see how it worked, because I wasn't sure how it was built. When I first started the build, I kind of did one half of a Byzantine, then just started one ring at a time. I built up this whole section, and then I was like, you know what? Actually, it was one more row. I got to the top of this, because I was thinking about doing chunks like this and attaching them. And so I started playing with it, taking it apart, and trying to figure out how I could build a little quicker than what I was. I think I figured it out, so the next half ended up being pretty quick-ish in a way. But that's what we're going to work on tonight. It's kind of a neat little weave. I actually have 3 pictures of this. 2 are the same picture in a different material, and one was just part of it. It was like this much of the weave that you could see. The other ones were full bracelets, and I was like, you know, I want to make that at some point. So that's what we're going to do tonight. The square ones actually came out not too bad. I don't know what it's going to look like in round wire rings yet. That's what we're going to find out. I think, what am I working with? 7/32. I believe this is a 3.5 AR with these rings. So if it was 3.3, it's a little bigger. These worked out pretty good. Square rings don't really have an AR. The equivalent round ring would be 4. I always know it's going to be smaller when using square, so it actually came out pretty decent. But we'll go ahead and start working on this. Hopefully I can kind of remember what I did earlier. Like I said, I haven't done this weave till today, earlier today, and so we'll see how it comes out. And if it works out pretty decently, I'm going to actually work up a small version with some smaller rings that I have. I didn't actually, when I was looking through, I don't have anything that's actually a 3.3 AR right on the nose. Everything's a little bit bigger than that. So we're just going to kind of go with it, see how it works. I could have made up some of my own rings, coiled up some, and got me the proper AR size rings, but it's like, well, I want to do some color with it, and that's what the first one there that I just showed you was just all gold. Come on, ring. And I wanted to try to do some color in it, so I kind of looked at it, and I'm hoping we'll get the coloring right. Like I said, not knowing exactly. I did find the weave on the Mail Artisan site, but there was no thing to show you how to do it and whatnot. And I mean, I don't like looking at those a lot anyway, because if I can figure it out myself, I'll learn more. I always say that, but so in a way, I guess that was good, but it did have an AR listing on it, and I was like, well, I don't have that. So we'll just kind of get close and see how it works. Hopefully it'll be alright. But we'll just kind of go ahead and get started on in here. And again, I hope everybody had a good week up till Wednesday, up till today so far. Been super busy myself, just getting a lot of things done and all that. So, and we're still at we're at 299 on our likes and whatnot on Facebook, trying to get to the 300. So we're one away. I already screwed this one up actually. Now that I think about it, I need to use. I think it's these. I think I start with my dark color. If I want it, well, I'm trying to do a shading as I go up through these. So I think I think when I was looking at it, I should have wrote that down. I didn't. I haven't tried it, so like I said, I'm still kind of guessing on all this. So, but yeah, I think I needed to start with at least one of the colors as my connectors here. But it actually was a pretty nice day today. I think we hit like 82, 81. I was like, wow, this is kind of nice. So it was a pretty decent day. I actually went out and changed out one of the floodlights in the back. It had been not working properly here for the probably last 2 months. It would really it's got the night vision, so it goes off in the morning if it's on, and then motion activated. The motion activated part stopped working and was never kicking on, but I could still turn it on with the switch. So I was using it that way, and then 3 nights ago, it finally went completely out. I went to turn it on, and it was almost like having a light bulb, in the house go out, where you kind of hear a pop and whatnot. It's got 2 light bulbs in it, so I wasn't expecting both of them to pop at the same time, but I didn't find that out till today, though, when I actually started taking it down, and both light bulbs wouldn't work in it. I tested them, and I'm like, And then I thought, well, maybe there's something more wrong in the wiring, but when I was taking it apart and taking it down, the thing was just caked. The light bulbs were caked in dead ladybugs. And alright, so let's see here. I think I'm looking back over here, I think I've got to go, because this is going to be another forward facing one, so this is where I got to change a color. But yeah, it was caking ladybugs. Pulled the light bulbs out, and when I took down the unit too, they were all over on the inside of the unit, and I was like, oh man, ladybug heaven. And so got it down, got the new one wired up. I just gotta go get new light bulbs, since those were fried out on me. I don't know, I just think the whole unit was just kind of having issues, and it finally just kaputted and took out the light bulbs with it, and it decided to go out. And I put some regular ones in it just to test it, make sure everything was wired up correctly and it was going to work. So all that worked, so I kind of just left it be. So alright, so that's one little half Byzantine. If we were going to continue, we would do the same pattern on this side for a normal Byzantine rope, but I'm going to do little chunks like this and then put them together. I think it's going to make it easier. When I did it on the other one, it definitely was quicker that way, so that's what I figured I'd continue to go with. All these are double or triple stuck. Got a bunch of them that way. And I'm getting more and more comfortable with putting the raw ones on and closing them up. I'm getting better at remembering to count as I go along to get them all closed up, and it does make it quicker, less ring time that you're grabbing rings and opening them, putting them down, grab another ring. This way they're kind of already there. So it is quicker. I knew it probably would be. It was just a matter of getting more used to it. I hadn't, Cats, stop. Alright, you're gonna make me get up? Alright, she got up on her cat tree, so hopefully they'll stay apart. It's that time of the day, though, I swear. Every night, man. It gets to this time, they just get a little more active. I guess because it's starting to get a little dark out. That's their time. I guess I should have looked, make sure everything was working. Hopefully the stream's coming through okay. Let me click over here and here to make sure I get my stuff open. When it works, I kind of start forgetting to go look. Alright, then I lost count with cat issue. But like I said, other than that, just been busy working on my tutorial, working up some, working up orders, obviously, when I got those, and I got a few other things I've been trying to slowly work on. Hopefully they'll come together here in the next little bit. We'll see how it goes. Been having the camera out doing pictures a lot, but I've also had a lot of other band stuff, things that I've been working on, little bits here and there for the website and their pictures, and and last night though I did spend. It was yesterday afternoon. I went to print something, and my printer shot me up an error again. It done that to me about a month ago, and so I tried doing the same thing I'd done before, and it was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're still going to shoot the error at you. So I spent 7 hours last night after that point trying to diagnose the stupid printer, and I think it's just toast. I've tried everything I could. I could buy another print head and try that, but I don't want to spend $65 on that and not be the problem. So I'm looking at having to get a new printer. And it would be okay if I just needed a normal printer, but my printers, I need to have CD, DVD, printable printers, because the band DVDs that I do, I print directly to the disc. I use printable DVDs. And so I've got to have that, and last time I bought one was about 7 years ago, and I mean, so it's given me some good time out of it. I mean, I'm gonna at least give the printer that. I mean, yeah, would I like it to last forever? But you know, that's not gonna happen with printers. Still a good printer, and I'm half tempted to keep it and try a new print head at some point, but I just needing a printer right now. I don't want to, you know, hope that that works and then it not work. So, but printers have definitely gone up in price since last time. I bought that one for $150. It was $149.23 or something like that when I went back to look to see how old it was. And cheapest ones I can find now, man, they're like $300 do the same job. And then there's another one that's even more expensive. It's $600. But I'll tell you what, I'm still half tempted on that one just because it's got it's one of those cartridgeless ones. I think it was an Epson Eco Tank. That's what they call their brand of cartridgeless printers. And I'm like, you know, in the long run, I'd probably save money, because every year when I'm doing the band DVDs, you know, I'm printing out 100 to 200 depending on the year and how many discs I'm doing for them. So I go through a lot of cartridges, and I'm like, you know, I could probably save money by doing that, because those tanks are supposed to last for a while. You can buy refills pretty inexpensively. I mean, they're still, you got some money involved in it, but then it's going to last a while compared. So, you know what, maybe I'll just take this one back apart since I put it together wrong. If I can find closures, that's always the big thing. There it is. So I'm kind of half tempted to get that printer. I'm not sure yet. I'm still debating. It's like, I just don't want to spend that kind of money on it, but I'm going to have to probably, so get that off there. I'm going to go with these already pre-closed too, I guess. But I need to get a printer here pretty soon. I've got my wife's laser printer, and it's just a black and white thing, and it'll do orders for me at least, so I can use that to get that done for now. But I need to have my regular one, because really that's the one that has a scanner in it too. So right now I can't even do a scan of anything, which does kind of suck. I don't do a lot of scanning, but when you need to scan and you don't have a scanner, it's like, ugh. My sublimation printer, I guess, does have a scanner, but I've actually never used the scanner portion of that. I've only used the printing portion of it, so I guess if I had to, I could figure that out, but... Alright, let's see, this will be chunk 4. I'll probably go ahead and get several chunks done here before we actually get into the full build of it, just so I have some and can just move along with them. But yeah, that was my fun project last night. I spent another little while trying to scrub on my hands to get all the ink off, because I did pull the printer head out and all the inks and all that. And you mess with a printer like that and you get into the internals, you're going to make a little bit of a mess on yourself. No matter how careful you are, you know. I didn't really get it on anything else because I covered everything properly and all that, but should have probably worn gloves and wouldn't have to worry about it, but sometimes it's too hard to work with gloves. But I tried everything I could to get it going, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to have to get another one. So, and then I started looking around at them and seeing the prices of them, going, oh my. So that made me actually go back. That was after about 3 hours of work on it. And when I started looking up prices and I seen the prices, I was like, oh. So that gave me another incentive to give it another 4 hours of trying everything possible that I could find on the issue, and I think I'm just going to have to break down and end up getting another printer. Thought about getting just a quick cheap one that I could do regular daily prints, but like I said, I'm going to end up using the wipes for most of that, so I really don't have anything I need to print out in color immediately. But I'm going to have to decide that here somewhat soon, just so I can have my own printer with my stuff. And then I guess I don't need it for the band stuff for a while, but I am hoping to actually do a lot of early stuff this year compared to what I've done in last year's. In the last few years, every year I try to improve on my times and what I do to keep it, because it is a bit of a chore, you know. When I go to an event and I'm taping, you know, I end up coming back home and I've got, you know, 3-4 cameras, sometimes 5 or 6 if I use the PoPro, and there's just I got hours of video for some, you know, their halftime show might be 10 minutes, but I'll end up with, you know, 50 to 60 minutes of just the halftime show in itself and video from different angles that I have to go through and all that. So I'm actually trying to get all that a little bit done quicker this year than I have. There have been years when I first did it, I just had a big old pile of video, and I was like, you know, in March that first year, I was like, I better start looking at this. And I spent March, all of April, trying to get caught up, not realizing that what I was putting myself into, getting myself into. But I still enjoyed it. But every year I've improved, and you know, computer's better now, so it processes things faster too. So things have improved, but I'm still trying to get a little bit better on it every year. So I'm hoping to get a little more time. I've got to be over here now. Trying to get most of my events done more when the event happened. I used to save it so I could try to get video and stuff from other parents. And I'm given the opportunity, but I need to get it within 2 weeks or so I can just get it up. I mean, I do the first edit so I can get it up on the YouTube channel for them. But then I've been putting off the other edit for the DVDs because it is different with the camera views. Normally the YouTube is just one single shot. Why did I close that? So I'm going to get all my events done hopefully within 2 weeks of the event. And so by Christmas I really don't have anything to do, because the last few years I've been doing a lot of over the Christmas break time areas when I would spend more time trying to get stuff caught up and get a little more ahead. And it has helped when it comes to the end of the year, but I want to try to get that so I don't have a whole lot to do during the Christmas break time. So I'm thinking about printing up, actually getting my design for the DVDs and the covers. Well, covers I can do partially. I can't really print them out yet till concert season gets done with, so I can get more pictures that I put on the covers and all that. I need to wait till I can get all that put on till later, but the at least the marching DVD, because they get 2 discs. I have a marching disc for the marching season and a concert season disc. So I can get printed up that part. I can't, and if I get all the video done, I can actually get the process of burning all the discs for marching season done after our Snake Saturday parade, which is in March, I believe. So if I actually got that caught up and I burn all those up well before concert season is over, I'd be much more ahead of the game by then. But I was thinking about going ahead and printing them up and have them ready for adding files and burning later. They'll just be ready to go at that point, because printing can take a while, especially right now without a printer. But I should have held those better. I let go of them. Let go. Need to try to do the full Persian. I should have just went my normal way. Come on. Come back down there. There we go. But also I want to have that kind of more out of the way so I can get more time into my chainmail. Because I definitely don't want to have to stop doing my chainmail live streams here for a couple weeks to get up to it. Because like I said, when it does still come down to the final time of doing the DVDs, I could spend a couple weeks pretty much morning to night just working on them, getting them done, blah blah blah. So I'd like to kind of get that ahead of it so I don't have to worry about, can take time off to do streams. No, like I've said before though, even though I'm streaming for an hour to an hour and a half, the whole process of, getting the bench ready for a stream compared to when I'm working on other things, I might have 2 or 3 projects at different points on this table bench. But so I got to make sure I get all that cleaned off, get the videos and everything set up, cameras going. It is quite a bit of a process. If I would go stream for an hour and a half, it's about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour job for the most part a day, every day that I stream, just because of getting things ready, cleaned up, getting everything set up, and then afterwards getting everything closed down. I mean, to do it properly anyway. I could do it quicker, but there was one day I was thinking about doing my stream on here, and I had all the different projects that I was like going to show. This is what I normally work in. But I was like, no, I don't want to do that. It looks too crummy. I mean, I try to keep things somewhat organized. I'm not most of the time, but I try to. It's a messy, a cluttery organization, I guess. Somebody else would look at it going, holy moly, that's crazy. But in my brain, I know exactly where everything's at, where I'm at on this or that. And there have been times when I've had 5 and 6 different projects actually going. I use the other half of the bench because this is my one 4-foot bench. I have another 4-foot bench right beside it. But most of that area here lately has been always stacked with supplies of some sort, because I'm ordering more and more. With all the orders that you all have been making, I've been ordering more stuff to remake what I'm making for y'all, and then just also new stuff. Anything, I make orders and stuff. I put the money back in the business, try to help it grow. So I just keep adding more and more stuff to it. And then I got to figure out where to put it. Alright, where are we up to? 2, 4, 6, 7. I guess that's probably good enough for now. Let's go ahead and take 2 of these chunks then, and let me see. I think I have to put them this way, and then I've got to come through with these 2 tops. What would be my color? If I was doing that, okay, that's going to be silver first for these 2, and then I'll do 2 of the other color, and then back to 2 silver, I think is how I close it up. Like I said, I haven't done this part yet, so hopefully it'll work and I'm doing it right. If I don't, well, take it apart. that happens from time to time. Hopefully we'll be able to, I'm not sure how long this one will actually take us to weave, so hopefully we can finish it up in the stream. I don't know. There are some bracelets that can take a little bit extra time to get done, so you know, yeah, these will be the other color because they'll flip down. And then we'll use silver to pull them down and give it the Byzantine fold. So far I think I'm doing alright and remembering how I wanted to do it. Like I said, I should have wrote it all down, but I had so much other stuff going on. I was just trying to see if I could figure out how to do the weave itself to begin with. Yeah, and then we fold those, and then I can use silver to close them back. Lock those in place. I did end up using 3 of the connectors on my square version, and I don't know if I necessarily fully like it. I'm just going to go ahead with 2 on these. That's what I've seen in the picture. And then once I get done, I'll decide. I can easily come back and add a 3rd if I want to tighten it up any. We'll see how it goes once we get some length into this thing. But where are we at now? Probably close to a half an hour. Took a little while to do some chunkages there, but now the parts are going to come together a little quicker now that the chunks are built. Alright, I'm just going to make sure I get these in the right way. Silver first. Gotta remember. Alright, so it was the top of that, and then through the top of the outside of that one. Not both, just one. There we go. Alright, so then another. So we'll find out exactly how long that takes on this, because I will work, I'll finish up my gold one that I had partially done. I thought about starting with that tonight, but I was like, no, I want to start fresh. I want to get some colored ones, because I was thinking about how I would do the color. Yeah, then these, yeah. And so I was like, I just want to go ahead and start with that one, start fresh. We'll see how long it takes, and I'm going to get back down in view here. I'm just right at the top of that screen, aren't I? I don't keep it down. I need to adjust my chair again. I'm a little bit too far away. I was standing up earlier when I was working on it, and so I sat down. My chair's a little further away compared to normal. Alright, so these would fold down, and my silver connectors. Silver. Through there, right? Yeah. And it seemed a little loose. It might be a little bit slightly larger AR than the actual square ones I was doing, to be honest with you. Like I said, square don't have an AR because of just the nature of them. There might be a way of figuring it out. I haven't really thought about it. I just know it's normally just smaller than the equivalent round ring. By how much, I'm not sure. Most times it seems to work okay for me. Alright, so there's kind of one. It's like an M right now. It'll look better once we can get some more going on it. Grab a drink real quick. Alrighty. So on to the next chunk. And down, no, this way. Yeah, there we go. Gotta think about it. By the time I get done doing 2 or 3 of those, though, it'll become second nature, and I won't have to think about it anymore. And gotta make sure I get it added into my book of stuff. I still haven't got all my stuff moved over from that I want to move into digital format, so I can look them up easier. But I know that's going to be a huge process, so I keep putting it off. And like I said, I've just been busy with doing the other tutorials I'm working on. We'll be able to check those out here pretty soon. We've updated the Chanians tutorial. I think it's a little easier to follow now. Had some help from some other mailers. Tara has definitely gave me a big help. She she's been checking my spelling because I am an awful, not necessarily awful speller, but when I go to typing, I'm an awful typer. So I get a lot of misspellings. Most of the time, a lot of them are, I'll add in and I'll push the key twice by accident for one letter. Other times, I'll end up putting the letters not necessarily all backwards, but you know, if I was spelling head, I'd put H-A-E-D instead of H-E-A-D. Small little things like that. So she's been checking that out, and she found quite a few in my tutorial, my chain-ins tutorial, to help me get fixed, and been a great help on getting that kind of more ironed out. And then working with the other, I've got another one that's going to be a free tutorial, and then working on another paid one for dream catchers that just in the process of finishing up now. Gonna be getting it kind of edited down and checked out and all that, so hope to have it out here pretty soon. And that is actually one of the things, I will mention it now, one of the things I'll be giving away on the live stream once we get to 300 likes is going to be one of my orange dream catchers. I've got a little variety that whoever wins that certain drawing can pick from, actually. Other things might just be, here's what we're giving away this time. If you want in, let me know. So you have to definitely get us shared out there and get people to come in, and I want to have at least a decent crew of people for the giveaway. I'd like to get, you know, a dozen or so people would be nice. So, because if I only get one or two, I might end up just, you know, giving away just a couple items and not have the drawing per se because there's not enough people there. But I plan on doing at least 3 giveaways, probably just 3, about once every 20 minutes during the stream is kind of what I'm planning. Okay, yeah, flip back over. I thought I put that one on backwards. So definitely get us out there, like, and get some shares out there to people, folks you might know that are into chainmail, and have them come over and look, so we can have be nice to have a nice big group one night of people, and have a little fun with a giveaway. Now that you will have to be there for most things, you know, I don't necessarily worry about it, but I'm kind of wanting to, you know, promote the stream a bit. You know, I don't expect a ton of people to show up to, you know, there's really not a ton of us chainmailers out there, to be honest with you. I mean, I think about it going, well, everybody should be doing chainmail, but when you really get down to it and think about it, it's like, you know what, there really aren't. I mean, I hear a lot of people that have done it, they've tried it, and then they stopped because they didn't like it, because it is tedious and it can be a lot of work to do something, depending on what you're working on. But I enjoy it, so I mean, it's not that big of a thing to me. But I've heard a lot of people that they've done things, but then ended up giving up chainmail. So then, you know, the more I think about it, it's like, you know, yeah, there's really not a whole lot of chainmailers out there. Some people will do it for a little hobby for a time, but there are a decent group of, you know, full-time mailers out there, but we're not a huge group. So like I said, I don't expect a ton of people here at any given time, but I want to kind of promote it and get it out there, and I know people have, and I'm hoping it'll pick up in the winter time when more people are inside. That's when I actually started watching more and more streams, is during the winter, just because you're more stuck inside. So now we're getting a little bit of length here. It's got a little bit of more pull than I would like. I think if it was a smaller AR, it would be a little bit tighter together. But I think you need it to kind of have a little bit of a spread to it to give it that look. But I'm definitely seeing that it's also a ring hog. Not a super ring hog. We'll see when I'm done, actually, though. I've had some bracelets that, and necklaces that just munch rings like nobody's business. Yeah. Make sure I'm on the right color again. This one's definitely got some, but it is a little bit wider of a bracelet too. but I'm kind of digging the look of it. I think it'd still look pretty good in the solid color, maybe not gold solid, which I still do like. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but this one I'm adding, I guess I've got 4 total colors. Looks kind of cool. Could graduate them the other way, leave all just these all the same. Could do solid centers where the color is now and do coloring on the outsides. Many different options to try. I'll probably eventually do one out of stainless. Weld that up probably. Definitely take it longer to do the welding, but color, just reminding myself again. Starting to kind of get more of the hang of what colors go and where to keep it the same. But I could also, you know, alternate the colors. Maybe. I don't know if that'd look good with black and then coming down on each side. I don't know though, it could, because you're kind of coming up and then down. I don't know. I might have to try that too. That's the thing when you start adding colors into things, there's so many options, so many colors to choose from, and then just how do you want the pattern to be, and that's where I end up having more of my issues. What pattern do I want to use? What colors do I want to use? I guess you don't have that problem when you're working in stainless steel or something. Maybe if you're doing a stainless steel and a brass mixture, that might give you a little more, but let go of it. But that's alright, cool. Thought it was going to give me more problems than that. So it started coming along a little bit. It takes a little bit to get the chunks done, but when I was doing it one by one, I probably would only be about halfway this far, just because of doing one by one rings can be bit of an issue on this time when I realized it was kind of, I mean, the name of it had Byzantine in it. And I'm looking at it going, well, I kind of see the Byzantine here, but the Byzantine's being pulled apart, so I didn't see it. Anyway, so now that I know how to just do the Byzantine chunks, which is something I had done a ton of, so I know how to do a Byzantine chunk. It was odd stopping at that point. Normally when I do this on this chunk where I had my blues and we're putting in the final 2 blues, normally when I'm closing that up I put on 2 more. That's going to be the start of the second Byzantine. So that was a little getting used to, I'd say. Because I kept, on the gold one when I was working on it, I kept adding one to it and I'd be, oh yeah, not yet. And have to pull it back out. And haven't done that yet on this one, so like I said, the more I do any weave, the better I get, quicker it gets, all that good stuff. No, you couldn't do that because you need to pull apart. Sorry, I had a brain part there going, I could Mobius that maybe, but sometimes I'll do that on things when it's normally just a 2 connector straight or something. And I'll come in and change it up, add a Mobius style to it. Sometimes that'll tighten it up and just give it a different look altogether, so it wouldn't work on this weave, at least on these. I could these end pieces ones, I guess, which I might have to look at doing. I guess, you know, the 2 ends here I could Mobius, and that would pull it up a little tighter. Maybe that's what I should do on the gold one, actually, now I'm thinking about it. The gold one would probably do pretty good with the square wires Mobius on the edges right there. Would probably give me a little bit more tightness that I wanted, and that's why I added that 3rd ring. It'd be like half as tight as it is now, I guess, though, probably. Taking out a 3rd, but adding a little bit back in. So, what camera are you on? I'm still on top camera here. Probably switch here in a few minutes, isn't it? Yeah. Close to the switch. And it's over. And we'll give a quick, I think I had 7 of these chunks. I want to give it it's going to be easier if I hold it this way though. Give it a quick measure, see how far we got in 7 chunkages, so I know kind of how many more chunks I'm going to need. Come on, get off of there. Get under that ring. Alright, now you should get in there. No? I'm still grabbing the wrong ring. I haven't had that problem with any of these yet. I don't know why this one's... That one just keeps wanting to fold down every time I touch it. Look at it wrong and it wants to fold down. Alright. Reposition my hands on the pliers. Get into the right spots. Alright, now let's get in there. There we go. Yeah, just finicky. Gotta hold it just right sometimes. I'll do that quite often though. I'll start working on one and can't get the ring through, sometimes put the hands down for a half second, grab it all again, and then go. Then you don't have a problem. It's like, well, I was just doing that same thing. So that's up tops, yeah. So let's see here, with a halfway decent stretch, we're about up to, I probably need double what I just did, because it's 7.5-ish, probably a little bit more if I was to have my clasp on there. Not sure how I'm going to end it yet. I'll probably, yeah, if I come around though, this way, I'm going to have to like do a half a side, because this side, you got your ends are both pointing down. I probably want one end pointing up. I guess I'm on the wrong camera now, so might have to build one side up as a half unit, like I was doing earlier, one ring at a time, build it up so I can put my clasps on the end. So we'll just get into doing some more chunklets. Let's see, we had 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll do 7 more, and we'll kind of see what we're looking at after that. Where are we at here? We're at like 40 minutes, so if another 40 would be an hour and 20, that'd be getting us pretty close actually to finishing up in the stream. So let's hope that it'll work out decent enough where we can finish up in the stream. That's what I'm always hoping for on Wednesday nights. There have been some that we've actually finished a couple during the stream. Just because they were simpler, easier, went together quicker. I wouldn't say simpler. Sometimes some of the quicker ones are not necessarily simple. They got some thought into them, so. Let's see here, make sure I get all these closed. Well, we'll see what else is going on other than that. Tomorrow night is a large project night. We'll be back into the chessboard. Again, I have gotten nothing done on it this week. With a Friday football game and the pictures I was doing, and those are pretty much done now, so that'll help. But I'm actually hoping Friday night I'm going to hang out in the chain mailers group and we do a video chat thing. I've only done it once so far, but I had a fun time doing it, and then ever since I've been busy on the Friday nights that's been happening, so I've had to miss the last 2. Well, actually one of them I missed just because I was feeling like crap and I ended up taking a nap, and then I slept all the way through the time I should have been there. And then we had a football game the next one, so I plan on being there this Friday, hanging out, and during that I'll probably end up working on the chessboard, and then it'll be something easy that I can chat with everybody else while I'm working on it. Sometimes when I'm working on something new and or trying experimental things, I don't like to chat because then my brain kind of loses focus on trying things, and I've noticed that when I have done that before, I end up trying the same thing sometimes twice, going, and I don't notice it till I get done going, well, I did this an hour ago. That's part of the thing with doing when you're trying something new. It does kind of suck in a way, because you could spend hours upon hours and get nothing completed. Other times you can spend those same hours and get something done, and you're like, okay, that worked out well, and blah blah blah. But more times you'll find yourself spending those hours and hours and nothing got accomplished because nothing was working the way you wanted it to work. So I do hate those days, but it's bound to happen when you're trying something new and stuff. Like I said, I've got the one bigger project that's what ends up happening with it. I've actually spent more time on trying to figure out how I want to do a certain part and it not working than I actually have spent in the product being built. Because it actually started really fast. The first two pieces that I was working with to make it and interconnecting them, the first two was like, okay, well, this is going to be a lot faster than I imagined, but now I've gotten to some parts that I need different sized build for stability and whatnot, and it's definitely slowed down. And I admit I haven't given up on it, but I have just put it off to the side and worked on other things just because. But I do have them now. I had several ring sizes I wanted to try. Didn't have them, and I got those coiled up probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. Got them all cut up. I still need to make one more run of cutting rings one night. I probably got another probably 30 to 40 coils over there I need to get cut up. So I'm going to have to make me a cutting day one day and get the ringinator out and cut all those up. But I do have all the ring sizes I want to try next. So that's a little bit of a help. That was one reason why I was putting it off, because it's like I got to coil up these other ring sizes so I can try that. Then I got to cut them all, so it's like having too much other fun doing this other stuff. And then I got my streams and cutting. I do enjoy being able to make my own rings, but it is a bit of a chore, and then it just takes away from doing the chainmail. I even have a hard time when I start going and working on the computer, staying away from it. Other than the past week, just because I've had so much extra to do with band stuff going on, starting back up and working on the new tutorials, and I've had the 3D printers printing out stuff like crazy the past couple weeks. I've got, actually, tonight might be my last night for a little while. Once I get one more color printed up of these things that I'm working on, then I think I'm done. It'll be more time of, I need to get everything, all of the other things that I've done on it cleaned up, get a lot of pictures taken, etc. But I'll be able to finally shut down the 3D printers. Give them a little bit of break. They've been working hard the last couple weeks. Harder than, well, I guess sometimes at Christmas time I'll spend a little more time there, because I always make up a little bunch of little fun little toys for the grandkids with it. So, but I print a lot of functional things too with it. Don't get me wrong. I've printed up a ton of functional products for around the house. Sometimes you won't even see them, but other times you will. But I printed up many functional pieces. Actually, that's how I've mounted my coiler and my ringinator. Where I currently have them mounted is I built up braces, printed up braces, and designed them up and printed them out. And they work really well. About what the purpose was for, because without doing that, I had another idea I could have done, but I will say that I don't think I would have liked it at all, and it meant somewhat doing more to especially the ringinator than I'd want to. I didn't want to put extra holes in it. It's framing work and all that, so being able to do that and print those up, it actually came out pretty nice and does the job really well. Even for little pieces, I had a lot of infill, so they did take still a while to print because they're pretty sturdy. Oh, I'll let go again. Hopefully I can get by without it. Cool. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make that or not. I'll have to drop it and re-grab it. This will be 3, so I've still got 4 more of these to do. Yeah, still the other thing I want to do is keep talking about it, and I keep going and looking on occasion, but I never have enough time where I can just, spend to get, I want to get some music going for the stream, so it's not just me jabbering with something in the background for you and for me. I like having a little bit of background noise, and I'm afraid to put on certain things right now so they don't get canceled, or we shut down your stream audio so you can't even hear me talk because you're playing this and you don't have rights to that. I understand all that, but it does drive me nuts at times because it's just, we're just hanging out. It's not like I'm promoting it and trying to make money off of music. It's just something to have in the background. You should like the free publicity, right? But no. I get it, but it still just drives me nuts. Make me have to go an extra mile here just to have some background music. And then I'm always worried about, for my personal stuff, you know, the band, when I do the band stuff, I've actually had a few, not any strikes really per se, but they monetize my video because it's got somebody's music in it. It's normally some publisher of the music for the marching band stuff, and I have that on occasion. They let me have the video, but they monetize the video for themselves, so I don't monetize any of the band videos for them. I just put them up and run that. I don't want to make any money from it, and just do it for the band kids, so. But somebody's got to make their money on it, I guess. I guess I already did the fourth one. That's what happens when I talk. Lose track of my counting. I thought for sure I was at 3. Well, let me do a quick check and grab a drink here. Everything seems to be going well. I'm actually at 0 drop frames for tonight. That's never happened. I guess we're not done streaming yet, but I don't know if I've missed anybody over at YouTube, but I know I've seen a couple on Twitch pop in, so thank y'all for joining us over there. If you're on Facebook, if you have a YouTube or a Twitch account, go over there and find us on those 2 platforms too, and give us a like. Kind of try to grow our audience there too. And then just whatever one you feel like watching that night. If you want to come watch a stream, you can just, you know, I feel like I'm going to be a Twitch night, so I'll watch it on Twitch. I know I've got several that have gone between Facebook and YouTube, have YouTube accounts, so they've watched us on both. So, and when we do the giveaway, wife was actually asking me how I was going to kind of do the giveaway and stuff, and I was like, she goes, "What are you going to do with people that are on other platforms?" And I'm like, well, if you're on any of the platforms, you'll be still available to participate in the giveaway. I know, you know, not everybody that I have as a subscriber on Twitch might not have a Facebook account, but you'll be able to still get into the drawing. Or just a straight up giveaway if there's only a couple people here. Like I said, if I do 2 to 3 giveaways and I only have 2 to 3 people, we might have to have a drawing of who gets to pick what first. I figure if there's enough people, I plan on saying this is what we're going to give away. If you want to join in, make a post with your name on it. I'm going to write them down on a piece of paper. We'll do a little hat drawing. A little quick hat drawing to see who it is, and you'll win whatever that one is that I say we're going for at that time. Thought about letting somebody pick, but I didn't want the first winner to, you know, I wanted to start with the smaller thing. We're kind of work up. We're going to kind of go with a smaller item and get a little bit bigger. I figure my main item is going to be probably the dream catcher. This time, like I said, when I can get to 500 likes, I think you might be surprised at what I'm going to give away at 500 likes. I am not going to give that one away, but if I can get to 500 likes, I want to kind of get a little something out there. Now, if we eventually can get to 1,000, then that could be a little crazy and even something bigger. I mean, I don't want to go too crazy, but, you know, that is my nature sometimes. I want to have it, get something out there, let people have fun with it, etc. So, get those people, share it out there, get some likes coming in so we can do the giveaways again. I do miss doing them. Like I said, years ago, I used to do them as Facebook posts, and I'll let it slide again. And it was fun, but I did stop because there was less people replying to posts at some point. I actually, more think about it, probably was during the summer. It does seem like things die down a little bit more during summer. So hopefully this is a good time where it starts picking back up, get more people to come in and join us. I'll probably get less chain mailing done though if I'm constantly looking at posts and replying to them. But you know, it's all fun. All right, that's number 5. So we got 2 more. Then we'll start putting the rest of these in there. Give it a quick measure, and then I'll have to decide from there. Do I want to add more? Do I want to see, since I haven't done it? Not sure how many little chunklets I guess I need to make yet. I'll know that after this bracelet though. At least for this size, I'll have to have a redo count because I'm going to use some. Was it 5/32 I think? 5/32 in the 18 gauge. Yeah, it was another 3.5. So it'll actually probably be about the same as this. Though I will say I normally find my 5/32 to be a little bit smaller percentage-wise from where they're supposed to be to like these here. This side 7/32. They'll both be 18 gauge, so no, these are 16 gauge. 1.6 millimeter, the other one's 1.2 millimeter. That's normally what I do judge most stuff off of. Is I got into a bad habit with TRL, how they list their stuff in gauge wise, and it's just so much better if I just know my wire width size. That's normally how I go with it. Whenever I write it down in my book for reminders, I'll just put down whatever thickness the wire is actually, because you got the standard wire gauge SWG and the American wire gauge, which is almost kind of weird, ass backwards in a way. I'll tell you, because when I was looking it up a long time ago, and I always have to remind myself this, because American measurements, you know, we normally use inches and 1/8 of an inch, blah blah blah. Most everybody else uses metric system, which, you know, I used to hate, but I dig it more and more now that I've been doing chainmail more and more. It's a little more accurate in ways and easier to calculate things. And when it comes to the wire gauges though, the standard wire gauge, I guess, uses more fractions of inches, and the American system of gauging wire is on the metric side. It's like, doesn't make any sense. When I was looking up the history of it, I was like, am I reading this wrong? What am I looking at? And it seems so weird. Because actually, in all honesty, I'd probably like to move over to the metric system more. I thought it was stupid at one point in time, but I think it was just more because when you get taught in schools in America, you get used to the standard, and when you start hearing, what is this metric stuff, you know? But we really didn't learn anything metric in school, and I've learned that later on, and I find it to be a little more accurate when I want something done right than trying to use fractions or decimals with it, you know, a 1/4 inch being 2.250 and whatnot. You know, it's just a little more confusing than just saying 4 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 5.5 millimeter. So I am getting a little more used to it. Oh, come here, chair. We're gonna move up. I keep forgetting to move yet. Yeah, much more comfy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where are we at here? We're at an hour probably. Yeah, just about an hour. So I need to kind of get this going so we can get her finished up during the stream. Once I though, you know, there's chunks that let's always take a little bit longer. Hopefully we'll move together, getting them together quicker. I don't have a latch clasp pulled out yet, but I did adjust my drawers here, and I got my clasps sitting closer to me now. I don't have to get up and go grab them from the other drawer further across. Kind of readjusted some things so I didn't have to go over and get up at the other stuff that I don't use as less often, a little bit further away, and the stuff I use more often closer. It was vice versa for the longest time. I always had the stuff close to me that I didn't use as much, and it didn't dawn on me until I started doing the streams that, hey, I can build this stuff closer and move that stuff away. Have one of those duh moments. Something I should have done a long time ago, but I didn't. And why was I not thinking that way? Alright, flip down. Oh, I need another one of these. And I still need to close that silver one. How did I miss that one? Could have swore I counted to 4 that time. See, that's the problem I do have with raw. Most of the time, I'm getting better at it, but I still miss some on occasion. I hate it, especially when I find it later on. Sometimes you notice it before you can get fully down the weave, but other weaves are so open, you'll kind of miss it and not see it till you kind of are checking it out later. Or the wife's looking at it going, hey, why'd you forget to do this? That's why I like to show her most of my stuff, see what she thinks of the weave. There are a lot of weaves that she doesn't care for that I like, and vice versa. So, not everybody's going to like every weave out there. Some are going to like them more than others. And that's what I like about chainmail, just so much of a variety. I need to sit down and see actually how many different weaves I know, but then some of the weaves, though, I will say are similar. So do I count them as the same weave? Like Odin's Eye and basically it's the exact same thing. It's just the twist of 2 rings. It changes the look. It actually makes a pretty big change in the look, so maybe that's one you don't want to consider the same weave as the other, but it's one of those things that I've kind of wondered, how do I count that? Do I count it as 2 separate weaves? I mean, they do have 2 separate names. It's kind of like one of the other bracelets that I've got that I'm still trying to find out on if anybody's made it so I can get a name, but it is similar to another one that's out there. It was actually, what I was going for was that, and it ended up, I don't know what I did to it. Well, I know what I did to it now, but when I got done, I was like, well, it looks the same, but it's different, especially on the reverse side. And so I need to find out if that one's actually been made by anybody. See if I'm going to be able to name a weave. What? Oh, you're fine. He's over there yelling at me. I gotta come running in, but he was just laying on the floor. Wow, talk to me. Wow, feed me. Wow. Oops, I went through 2. I knew I'd do that eventually. I'll flip up over where I need you. Yeah, I hear you, big boy. It's not booty time yet. You got at least a half an hour to an hour, boy. You know you don't get food till after 9. But I want food now. He likes to beg. Sometimes he can talk me into it, because when you look down at him, he'll be all flipped upside down like, look at my belly, I'm a cute kitty. Give me some food. Sometimes it works. A lot of times it doesn't. It used to work more often now that he's a diabetic cat and I have to give him shots and I limit his food anymore. He definitely begs for food a lot more just because, you know, he doesn't have food always readily available to him. So he definitely yells at me more going, I'm starving. No, you're not. But he is definitely a pathetic, throw himself down on the floor, roll over, going, look at me, look at me. And he's always been that way. He's always been a look at me cat. Look what I can do. I'm a cutie pie. Come pet my belly. But he does enjoy his belly being pet, unlike most cats. We've had several cats through the years. They're just, you could not touch their belly for nothing. But he has always been an open belly cat. He's like, this is my belly. You may pet it and love me. And I've had a few that way too, but not as much as him really. Because he's almost like a dog in a way. When he throws himself over to saying, look at me and pet my belly, it's like a dog almost. It's like most cats will roll over and you just kind of come up and pet the belly, and they're okay with it. But he's the type that's like, yeah, I've got a belly. It's right here. Pet it. Love my belly. And Marble. Well, I'll tell you what, the last 3 nights, she has been the grasshopper queen. Oh, she's bringing me in so many grasshoppers lately. I guess there's nothing else to catch, so she's just out there hopping around in the backyard catching grasshoppers, bringing them in. I will say it was funny, and it wasn't this spring, I think it was last fall. We had some nights outside, I was sitting out back, and she was just hanging out back there, and it was, had a bunch of lightning bugs, fireflies, I don't know exactly what they're called, we've always called them lightning bugs here. And I mean, it was just 100 of them a second practically, just everywhere. But, it's just at dusk, so it's still a little bit light out. You can see her back there in the backyard, and all of a sudden she just starts jumping around chasing these lightning bugs, just going nuts over them. And I was like, I wish I had my phone with me. They make phones now with the cameras so you can capture more stuff, but I end up missing more stuff than in the old days. I used to just have a camera sitting beside me. Now I have a phone, but I leave the phone inside. Because I'm a computer nut in a way. I like technology. I'm computer smart, but phone dumb. I just don't do enough on my phone to, think about it much, to having to put on all these different apps and stuff. I use my phone just, when I go out, and actually for the business when, we do events, so you can process credit cards, but other than that, I really don't use it for much. I guess the drone, but I almost rather have just a separate, larger, maybe like a tablet to do my drone with so I could see things better than using it on the phone. But other than that, I just really don't use my phone for much. I've had times where my phone went dead, didn't even know, because I get maybe a couple calls a week on it. I'll call out a couple times if I'm out and need to call home for something, saying, what was I supposed to get? What'd you want me to grab? But, even text-wise, I don't really do a whole lot of texting. I know the wife will text me more often. She's more into her phone than the computer, but she'll text me more than anybody, and 90% of the time she'll be saying something and my reply is okay. Sometimes I'll put the O in front of it so it's okay. You get twice as long of a text that way. I think she feels special when I put okay on there. I don't know, I'm just playing. I don't think she's watching tonight, so I can make fun of her. They were watching Monday night though, so. But I don't think they watching tonight. I haven't heard them up there doing anything. Normally I'll hear them up there saying something. I'll be doing something, I'll say something stupid or whatever, and they'll holler, and I can kind of hear them saying stuff. And then I know they're watching. But I don't think they're watching tonight, but. And like the daughter said one time, I think it was last year at a concert, she was texting me, and I just needed to send her one basic quick sentence back to say something back about our videotaping that night. She's like, you were down there forever, and all I get was this one little sentence. It's like, that's how I type on this texter machine here. I'm slow. Alright, come on, Ring, get back over there. There it goes. As long as I don't push it back around. I'm a slow texter, for sure. She's like, you text like you drive. Slow. They always like picking on me about my slow driving. Got too many tickets as a kid. It just kind of kept me down. Most of the time I'm not really in a hurry where I need to be somewhere and at a moment's notice. Why hurry? Why speed? And take that Sunday stroll, right? I don't like being behind people that are slower than the speed limit. I at least do the speed limit, but they consider that slow. I'm like, I'm doing the speed limit, guys. Why am I slow if I'm doing the speed limit? We're getting passed by everybody. Well, they're not doing the speed limit. If I'm doing the speed limit, I'm not slow. If I'm under the speed limit, then you can call me slow. And there are times I do run a little bit under if the side streets and stuff, depending. You just never know when it comes to side streets. I'm a little more cautious on those just because so many more kids there, especially during the summer. Like I said, when I was younger, I did a lot of stupid stuff when it came to driving, donuts and all that good stuff. So I gotten all that out of my body and don't need to do it anymore. But how many 50-year-olds do you see out there doing donuts in the snow? Probably not too many. You see somebody doing donuts, you're probably looking at somebody 35 or under. Back when you would do that kind of thing. I wonder if my phone's going to keep blinking at me. I guess I probably should go check it. I don't think they would have texted me because they know I'm streaming tonight, so it could be a band parent maybe asking something. Yeah, let me go grab it real quick just in case. I don't want to leave them hanging. I'll probably come over here and it'll be nothing. Well, actually it was a wife. Asked me if I wanted to come get some of the fresh pineapple before Starla eats it all. They know I'm streaming. Maybe that's what I heard a little commotion up there, but it wasn't anything I was doing, so I figured it had to be just them doing their normal jibber jabbering, and they weren't watching the stream because I think I only got one viewer on the Twitch side, maybe. I don't see anybody on the YouTubes, and I don't think I've had it. If you have been on and I've missed you, you didn't say anything, you know, that's all fine, but I normally like to acknowledge when I see somebody pop in, but I've looked a little bit less tonight on the Facebook side, just because, you know, when I start to stream for a while, after about a half an hour, I'm not getting anybody, I start more focusing on the chainmail, and then I start to forget to look at the screen as often. Come on. Just need a little bit. There you go. I love the rings that go together real nice and easy. The other ones, you're just like, you tweaked me just too much one way. Tweak me back. That was a little too much. Tweak me back the other way. Oh, come on, ring. Just give it up already. And other rings are like, oh, that was perfect. That felt good. We're done. I like those rings. I like that one. Nice, quick, and easy. I wonder where we're at here now. We're coming up on 7 with 3 more chunks to go. So, yeah, it might be actually, it's a little wide. What did I do with my bracelet measure? Okay. It's like I moved my bracelet measurer and I can't remember where I put it. I see it now. So, come here. Definitely have to pull that out and give me a measurement, see if I needed to shrink it by any, or you know what, maybe I should just come in and do this one first, then connect it to the main. Probably easier that way. I've been doing it the other way all this time, but I think this would be an easier way now. Now that I'm thinking about it, wondering why every time I went to put that ring in, it was always giving me, not issues, but I wanted to grab 2 instead of the single. I should just single it, and then the only other way I can is put it through a single on the other one, so it'd be impossible to double it unless I completely go to a different colored ring. I don't think I'd do that, but alrighty. I'm definitely digging the look of this. You know, I have for a long time, and I just put it off because I wasn't sure. I knew it was going to be a bit of a ring hog just by looking at it, but I had to sit there and really just decide on how it needs to be built. So that's one reason why I put it off for a while. Just gotta figure it out. I'm gonna have to, and eventually anyway. Like I said, if I'm going through my pictures, we've actually done quite a few new weaves on our Wednesday nights here lately. So I've made a pretty big dent in my picture folder that I had pictures of weaves that I've been wanting to do. So I've actually made a pretty decent dent in that. Pretty happy with that. Glad to have done it. Let me move over. I'm on this side camera now. In a way, I kind of like having the auto changing, but in a way I've noticed I forget which camera I'm on. I got to make sure I look a little bit more often to see what camera I'm on, to make sure I'm within view of what's on that camera view. Because each one, when I'm on the side one as the main one now, I need to be more over here. If I'm on the top, I can kind of have a bigger area to work with. If I'm on my front camera, I got to make sure I'm more further up in the frame just because of the angle it has. But I don't know if you're watching now or later, when I do get to 300 likes, the night that we do the giveaway, which will be a Wednesday night once we reach 300, you'll actually have my face. I know nobody wants that, but we will be. I'm going to hang up a little background. That's part of the reason why I don't do it now, just because behind me is just a bunch of laser storage stuff, blah blah blah, looks like crap. I didn't want to hang up something all the time. That's why I want to have my own separate area to do my streams, and then it would be easier to worry about that, or not worry about it per se. And then I'd probably have my face on more often, but I figured that'd be a nice little thing to also do during the giveaway. Is after, I'm not even sure how long I've been streaming now. 3 months, 4 months. I'm unsure. I'd have to go back and look at my first video and see when that was. Anyway, we haven't shown my face on a stream yet. I'm the faceless chain mailer. And then I'll have to tell some of my old my friends that I'm going to be showing my face and come over and look at the beard I've been growing, my Santa starter kit beard. I haven't trimmed it, done anything really to it. I guess I trim a little bit here and there around the mouth so I can eat without fur, my own facial hair eating it. But I've never grown a beard before. Wife asked me, I think we're coming up on 6 weeks now. She's like, you've never had a beard. I've grown a goatee for her once because she wanted to see me in a goatee, and never had a beard before. So she's like, I want to see you with a beard. Grow a beard for me? I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. There, the first few weeks were driving me nuts, though, with just, everything. But I've kind of gotten used to it in a way now. Still does drive me nuts at times, but as long as it's been a new experience for myself having a beard, so we'll see how long it goes. I don't know how long I'll keep it or how long it will grow before I decide to get rid of it. I don't know. We'll just have to play that by ear. So it eventually will disappear, I will say that probably. How long it takes to get to that point, I'm unsure yet. Figure I'll try to at least give her a good look at a beard. And we'll go from there. Feels weird not shaving as often, even though I didn't do necessarily full shaves. I just razored it. You're supposed to be over here. There we go. Very few occasions will I actually use a razor to shave. If I really need to for, a wedding or something, I will. But otherwise, I don't like pulling out the shave, getting blades out, and doing all that. It's like I'm a chain mailer. I'm supposed to be scruffy, right? At least a men's chain mailer, I guess. You don't want a scruffy female chain mailer. But maybe you do. Who knows? Everybody's got their own different taste in everything, so, and that's all good. Everybody can do that. It's like daughter tried messing with me. Was it end of last week? Oh, she came home. And she was trying to hide some things, and up on her neck area, behind her ear. And I mean, I wasn't gonna, she does her own thing. I wasn't gonna say, "Why are you trying to hide something from me? You're 21, you're old enough." And she's like, "What do you think about my new tattoo?" And she kind of pulled her ear away and showed me this little tattoo behind her ear, and I think she was a little bit sad that I wasn't, mad. It was kind of weird because I was like, huh, that's cool. She's like, you're not mad? I was like, why? You're 21, you can do whatever you want. I don't care what you do. Get tattoos, you know, I mean, might not be my cup of tea, but it's your own person. Everybody's got their own way of doing things, their own things they like. It's up to you. I'm not going to get mad about it. Might not care for it, but I ain't going to get mad about it. It's your own. You just do what you want to do. But I do think she was wanting me to say, get a little mad at it for some reason. I don't know. At least that's what it felt like. Alright, let's see where we're at here. He's flipped around the right way. Oh, well, yeah. I'm definitely going to have to take a chunk out of this. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull. It could be different, though, because of the width. I'll tell you what. To do what I was wanting to do anyway, I think I'm going to just pull off this half of this chunk. If I can find my ends. Then we'll close it up, because what was I at? Just without even thinking about adding a latch, I'm at 8.5. Adding a clasp and whatnot is going to extend that out. So I want to leave these half on. So I need to take this one out. Probably take me a couple minutes to think about this on how I want to, because like I was saying earlier, I don't want the two halves to come together and be at the same point. Figure if I can take out half of this so it's like they almost want to meet back up with the clasp pulling through the middles of each one of those. I think it'll look better that way. So that's what I planned on doing. We'll see how it works. Then we'll measure and see how far I was off. I didn't think I was going to get quite that long. So if we pull that one, and we pull this one, I'm going to have to do something with the silver ones there, though, I think. This way I don't have to actually build another half one or build onto it. I'm just pulling out some here real quick. Oh, come on, get out of there. Well, let's see here, because I need to keep those two. I really can't have a black one up on the top side. Well, maybe I can. There it is. I'm going to have to keep silvers in there to do that. And I don't want to do that because that's going to flip that open. Maybe I don't go with the black one on this. I guess it's on the top side. It was on the bottom side earlier. I had flipped the whole unit. So, where are we at here? I got 8 minutes. I should be able to finish this up in 8 minutes. So actually the 2 through that isn't bad. Because then that's 2 on that. With just those two colors. These two will be the silver. Do I want to change that over? No, I need them to go the other way for that. So let me think about this for a second. These two are going that way, so I'd have to attach some silvers to it. Let me grab my clasp. I want to make sure I get my wing correctly on my clasp. Something like this, I like it to lay sideways, so I've got these two. Come back up here so I can see which way you guys are going. You're going the same way, so it'll be right into connecting. So let me go ahead and put that on. And then I'll have to add one extra to the other side to get the, because then, yeah. No, I just did that wrong, didn't I? That'll be, because that now, this is leaning that way. I'm on this camera now, so. Man, I don't know how I want to necessarily do that. I should probably, let's see here. Let me take that off. Let me pull out one of these, and then I'm going to actually pull the other one out so that I can go through both of them and then put the clasp right onto that. Let's see how that works. That might be the best way. I wanted to have a double then down to a single for the clasp, but I think it's going to be better if I go this way. That one's laying flat though, and I want my This is going to make it stand up, and that's what I was just doing. But why was I thinking it was going the other way? Let me go ahead and close this one up, I guess. Put this one back in the other way. And that seems to... If it's that way, let me just go ahead and close it. I didn't close it last time and actually look. This way does make the right sense. Yeah, that's what I want. I want it to be sideways so it can come... When it clasps on the other side, it'll lay flat. So I'll need the one on this side too. So we'll use one, and I think I'm going to need two actually, because once this comes around, it needs the tall one to connect to. So yeah, one more. Oh, I'm out of view again. Sorry guys. Let me get back up here now that I did all that out of the frame. And then we can close her up. Get us a nice closure and put through the correct way. Yeah, that's definitely huge. Much bigger than I was expecting it to be. I guess it'd make a good anklet. It's about the anklet size. That's what it felt like anyway. Let me grab my sizer. Yeah, we're basically at 9. Yeah. Oh yeah. Once I flip that around, we're actually a little over 9. So it'd probably actually make a good anklet right now at this size. So let's see how many chunklets we have here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm out of view again. Well, I'm gonna have a hard time. Let me just manually go ahead and switch it on back to the other camera before we end here, so we can show it better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We basically made 13 chunks, so I probably should have gone down to 12. I can almost kind of test it. Let me put this clasp, we'll just kind of clasp up to here and try to give it a feel. Even though I've got the extra in there, so yeah, I think 12 chunks would have done us well. But we'll leave it at this. Like I said many times before, it's easier to take out rings at an event than it is to put them in. So, who knows? Maybe I'll just put this onto the anklet side. It's a larger anklet, but I do like the look of it. Let me go ahead and pull it apart and try to get a closer camera view of it, so y'all can see it a little more closely. Hopefully it doesn't get all blurry if I get too close. But it's a neat little weave. I'm definitely digging it. It took under an hour and a half, so that's a good bracelet time. I'll need to get a ring count on it. The more I'm looking at it, it is a ring hoggish, but not probably as bad as I'm thinking. So, and then I'll compare it to the my yellow one is actually a little tighter. It's a little taller overall. We are using larger rings though. This was 1/4 inch square rings, but I'm still digging it too. It's definitely a lot wider than that one. But I'll finish this one up later, and then I'm actually going to work on a small version too. I'll probably make it a solid. I'm thinking about going to solid black ice on it. Thought about silver, but figured out I hadn't made any solid black ice items, I don't think so. But I think it came out pretty well. Hope y'all liked it. And so I want to say thanks to everybody that's dropped in and watched us tonight, or if you're watching us later, I thank you for doing so. It's great to have you here, either live or later. If you ever have any questions and we're not running a live stream at the time, feel free to message me at any time. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Very seldom do I miss any. So we're going to go ahead and get done with closing up for tonight. I do want to give a quick shout out to Sean White over at Brain Melt Mailworks. He does printed chainmail items, chainmail designs that are on shirts, fully printed. Shirts, blankets, coats, puzzles, all kinds of cool stuff. I've gotten one thing so far from him. I plan on getting several others. Used to watch his stream. If his stream ever pops back up, I'll be sharing his stream back out to y'all. It's fun to watch. So I like to give Sean a shout out on occasion. I like what he does over there. So I do thank you all for joining me. We will be back tomorrow night, Thursday. Every Thursday we do large project night. So we'll go ahead and close up tonight. We hope to see you tomorrow. You all have a great night.